This episode of Rookie Hunter is brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation. Adventures in sheep country can change your life, and as residents of BC, we're very fortunate to have 3 different species of sheep in our province. After attending the Wild Sheep Foundation's annual convention, Sheep Show, in Reno, Nevada, we got to see what conservation looks like firsthand. The Wild Sheep Foundation's ability to raise and put millions of dollars on the ground each year to keep these majestic animals on the mountaintops worldwide is unmatched. The Wild Sheep family is a diverse group of people from all walks of life, and membership is open to anyone. Whether you're a seasoned pro, it's your first time on the mountain, or you just like to see sheep on the hillside, you can sign up and join today. Kelly and I are lifetime members, but you can become an annual member for just $45. You can also become a member of the Less Than One Club, which is the only club you want to get kicked out of. If you've never taken a North American or international ram, you can join us in the Less Than One Club for an extra $25. Plus, Less Than One Club membership also includes entry into a draw for 3 separate Doll sheep hunts, which will be given away at Sheep Show in 2019. For more information on the Wild Sheep Foundation and to become a member, head over to wildsheepfoundation.org. Hey guys, gals, welcome to episode 82 of Rookie Hunter. Today on the show, we've got a special guest, and you could just wait and find out who that is. We're talking about our pig harvest that took place over the weekend. We learned a lot from this one, and we'll do a follow-up episode on this too, because a lot of work took place after we had this discussion. Currently, I'm sitting in a hotel room in Vancouver, British Columbia. Not the best place to record. I'm sure you can hear a fan in the background. But the nice thing is Kelly is also here working. So we got to meet up tonight and had a few craft beers. If this is your first time listening to the show, you can find out more about it and listen to past episodes. The website is therookiehunter.com. There's also links to our merch site. You can get yourself some t-shirts. There's even shirts for the ladies there. Make sure you do that. The holiday season is coming up quick, so head over there. If you haven't done so already, you can leave us a rating or review on iTunes. That helps us out, especially if you're in the United States. We need some more help down there. Let's get into this episode. Sit back, relax, crack a cold beer, and enjoy episode 82 of The Rookie Hunter. Sweet. Gal, we got a guest today. I'll let you do the introduction.
Yeah, my dad, Wayne, is in the studio today. He's up in Kelowna for the weekend. So, I think this is the first one we've done in the studio, right? We did one in Cayuga when we went fishing.
Cayuga, yeah.
This is your second appearance on the show.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah. I'm happy to be here.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't think you knew what we had planned for you this weekend.
Certainly didn't.
I don't think I knew what we had planned.
I was just coming up for a nice visit, me and the wife with our son, and next thing we know, we're slaughtering pigs and doing podcasts. So I think next time I'm going to ask a few more questions.
Yeah, you might think twice about coming up.
Yeah.
Kelly and I have all kinds of plans for you, actually. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. We've got lots of plans, lots of things on the bucket list to tick off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's all good.
Should we got a few emails and a few questions. Do you want to answer some?
Sure.
The old Instagram shout out for questions here. This was Brent. He actually asked us a question last week too. Do either of you guys have a desire to get your restricted firearms license? Why or why not?
I don't, mainly because the only reason I got my unrestricted was for hunting purposes. So I just don't consider myself like a enthusiast of like shooting in particular. Yeah. But that's the only reason for me.
My reason is identical. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Going to the range just doesn't really appeal to me all that much.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how it could be fun and people would want to do it, but I use it more as a tool to do hunting. Yeah. As opposed to like a hobby to go shooting.
Solves that one. Yeah. I got nothing against it, but some people are just more interested in it than others. So the seal question actually got quite a few people writing in last week. Mm-hmm. Kyle wrote in and said that we should watch Angry Inuk. It's a very educational documentary about misconceptions about the seal hunt. and how it affects Inuit people. So we should check that one out, because I really don't know anything about the seal hunt. So I think that's worth looking into. Hopefully it's on Netflix or something like that, and we can report back on that one.
Yeah, well, it's been an issue for many, many years.
Yeah, for sure. It gets a lot of bad press,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I don't think people fully understand.
They were thinking, I read up on it a little bit, and I think the current topic now is like, should BC pursue legalization of almost like a cull? Right?
Yeah. Which
a lot of people are in favor of that,
just
due to the amount of them, like we talked about last
on
time.
the last one. Yeah, and I saw that firsthand the other weekend there.
Yeah.
So
because they want to ensure that the whales aren't out competing the whales.
Exactly.
Yeah,
whales are having a tough go.
Yeah.
We also heard from Chris, and he's offered us some seal meat, but I think he mentioned some dates, and I think we're both going to be away for the holidays at that time, so we're missing out on some seal meat, Kelly. Next time, Chris.
Yeah.
Seal meat and beer is actually imported from Toronto for us.
Nice.
We're missing out big time. But
and where did he say he got this? He I can't remember now.
Pond Inlet in Nunavut.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, more interesting stuff on there. He's actually got a podcast called The Unsettled Hunter. And we should link up with him at some point and talk more about it, because I think he focuses a lot on sort of Inuit and First Nations hunting and stuff like that, which I really don't know much about. So that's why it hasn't really made it too much into our podcast. So it'd be nice to learn a bit more about different cultures within Canada.
I wonder what seal meat would be similar to.
Yeah, I have no idea. I couldn't even guess.
Yeah.
I'd imagine there's a good amount of fat on them.
Chicken.
Yeah, everything tastes like chicken.
Yeah, basically. Until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, we can jump into this weekend's activities if you want.
Cool.
Wayne, what was your first thought when Kelly told you what we were up to?
Well, I thought it'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously never been in that situation before, but I was pretty aware that pork didn't grow on trees.
Yeah.
And somebody at some point had to process it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, when we came up and Kelly said, Mike has a pig and we're going to slaughter it and process it, a pig. And then when we get on location, all of a sudden one pig is 4 pigs. So that was a bit of a surprise. But, 1 or 4, it's the same process, right? So
for sure.
And I think the second 2 went a lot smoother than the first 2. So that was nice.
Yeah, for sure.
No, you guys did an awesome job.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Should we, do you want to go into details about how this all goes down? It's a bit gruesome.
Yeah,
but I think the whole idea is to understand where your food comes from.
Exactly.
And that's why we did it. So,
yeah, I mean, well, the day before I was kind of texting you just saying like, what are we going to need?
Yeah.
And 22 was on the top of the list.
Did you think I was joking?
No, but I just kind of wondered, like, I know you had a 22, so I was like, well, how many 22s do we need? But you didn't have it. You couldn't find your clip.
Yeah, we could have used mine, but the nice thing about yours is you can fire off a few shots in a hurry if you need to, right?
If we needed to,
yeah.
Fortunately, we didn't.
We didn't, yeah.
And then we needed some knives, and I kind of was going into it thinking that we were going to treat it similar to wild game, where you knock it down and you kill it, and then you field dress it on the ground.
Right.
And you do it that way. And then I thought we were going to get into the like cutting and butcher, because I thought 1 pig, like it's going to be, that's the project.
Yeah.
And then we get up there and there's 4. So the day ended up being more about the like prepping and dressing them than the actual butchering.
Yeah. And I kind of had thought maybe we would be able to, separate all the different cuts and stuff like that, but it's better if you hang it overnight anyways. And it's hanging right now. I have to go pick it up after this and finish it off. But I did a whole bunch of reading about this beforehand, and there's different approaches you can take for just about every step. You can do it on the ground if you want. If you've got a tractor nearby, which we did, that makes things a lot easier just to hang them up and gut them that way. But I guess we can start from the beginning, which is you get there, you got the 22, you have to get the pigs to trust you, and the first 2 definitely were pretty mellow. And the idea with the 22 is you're you're aiming, I guess, like you could draw, what was the ones it said, like an X from the ears to the eyes, and that's kind of the point you're aiming for. The other one I had read was like a finger's width above the eyes, so the same general direction, however you want to picture it. And you're shooting, if the pig's head is sort of face level towards you, you're aiming back towards the tail, and you're trying to hit the brain, which is actually quite small. So from what I understand, you're not actually killing the pig right away with that shot, but you're hitting it in the brain, and you're basically stunning it and knocking it unconscious. And then you've got about 15 seconds to bleed out the animal, which means you have to get pretty much underneath the jawline. Again, there's different ways to do this. You open up the throat and you bleed it out, and as the heart's still pumping, the blood comes out. So you actually get a lot of the blood out, and there's quite a bit of blood that comes out. So it's pretty interesting. And I didn't get much sleep the night before, just because I was worried that, not that it wouldn't go well, but there's not much room for error to stun the pig with that 22 shot. If you miss, then things are going to be pretty unpleasant. But luckily, we were all pretty confident going in there, and all 4 pigs went really well as far as that goes.
I kind of felt like it was Mike's responsibility to do the knife part, because this was all his idea.
No one else
we were all
wanted
like,
to do it.
we were all like, oh, I don't know, like if this is going to go well, if it's going to go bad, or if we're going to be, if it's going to get.
I was a little nervous on the shot part. And, when Landon stepped up and did the first one, and it went so well, I felt a lot better after that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, basically, you just want to get that first one out of the way, because then you kind of know what you're expecting, because it's sort of the very unknown leading up to that point, right?
Yeah.
So how long do you think from the shot to when the thing is actually dead?
Well, I think once the shot hits its brain, it's not feeling anything anymore.
Yeah.
And then when you sliced its throat there, I would say, I don't know, 10, 20 seconds.
Yeah, under 30.
But even then, it's not, I still think it's not feeling or.
No.
Yeah.
Right? So I think it's instant for them.
Yeah. So yeah, if you feel, that's a weird way to say it, but feel good about that process because it's quick. There's no pain there. Nerves, as you would expect with anything. If it's a fish or a deer, they're going to kick around for a little bit, but they're totally gone by that point. So it's expected. So you kind of just have to wait that out and then drag them out of the pen and get them hung up.
Yeah, dragging them was a little bit difficult because the last 2 were kind of wise to the situation and they didn't want anything to do with us.
Yeah, they were a bit more cautious. But once we were in the pen for a while there, they warmed up to us, I think.
Yeah.
There was just a lot.
Put a stock on them.
Yeah. There was a lot going on with, so the first time it was just me in the pen and Landon with the rifle. Second pig, you came in, and so it was just the 2 of us. But then for the last 2 pigs, there was more of us trying to separate the 2 of them, which I think stressed them out a little bit. And the tractor was there and the torch and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot going on. But I think once we just sort of waited it out, they calmed down a little bit, because the last thing you want is for them to be stressed. So
yeah, the last 2 were definitely a lot more skittish for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think they knew something was up.
Yeah.
But, Wayne, how did it feel to like see that process? I don't know if you watched the whole.
Oh yeah, I did. And, I mean, I've, fished and killed and cleaned bigger fish and that kind of thing. And, if you're a person that didn't like the sight of blood or something like that, you would have issues for sure.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
That has never bothered me. And it wasn't that bad at all, really.
Good. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it too.
Thankfully, it all went smoothly. I mean, I'm sure it could have, been a lot worse, but it worked out well for us. Yeah,
I think the year before, they actually hired a guy to come and help them out to do the job that we were doing, and he kind of botched it. So that was a pretty horrible experience for them, and they didn't want to repeat that. So that added a little bit of extra pressure for us too, I think, to make sure it went well. And
I remember they said that they didn't have 22 LR bullets.
Yeah, right. They had shorts.
They had the shorts, and apparently that didn't work out as well. So if you're planning on doing this, make sure you have an LR.
Yeah. There's tons of good articles, and there's even YouTube videos and stuff like that. So it's something you're doing for the first time, do some research. Yeah, you want it to go smoothly.
Yeah.
Take us from that point where we got him hung up.
So we had the tractor, similar to a deer, where you kind of slice the back leg and you put the meat hanger through the legs.
Yeah.
And then we had it hooked up on the trailer bucket, a tractor bucket, had them hanging.
Two of them at a time. Yep.
2 of them at a time. And then we had a big tiger torch and basically like singed all the hair off, scraped it down.
Yeah.
And then field dressed it kind of top to bottom.
The torch worked really well. That's I had read people that would either skin the pig or actually just like shave the hair off like manually, which sounded like a horrible long task to do.
Yeah.
I think the torch was the way to do it because it was actually pretty clean. The smell of burning hair isn't all that pleasant for a while there, but
definitely something that was a surprise to me. I was expecting that.
See the torch come up.
It is the best way to go.
Yeah, definitely. And these pigs, did you ask them what variety of pig they were? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a mule foot. I might have to Google it here.
Yeah, okay.
It's mule something, but basically,
they got a lot of hair on them.
They didn't have a split hoof. It was a solid one.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it was a cross too. He said it was a cross,
with a Yorkshire or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know the names of pig breeds,
but I have no idea. So today the pig is cut in half. I'll find out how much it actually weighs today. I'll be curious to know. Any guesses?
Mule foot pig. That's the breed.
Yeah.
How much it weighs? Dressed?
Yeah. In its current state.
150 to
150? 152, I think. It would take two of us to move half of it.
Yeah, I was just thinking, one half like that. I mean, that had to be 100 plus.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're in the neighborhood of 200, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of meat.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I sidetracked us. Hair comes off, shave it. Pretty quick process. Doesn't take too long.
Yeah.
Field dress, much like you would a deer. It's a pretty familiar process.
Zap straps helped.
Yep, to tie off the bits. Yep.
Different process for males and females a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you were always lucky to get the male.
Hey, you got both males. You and Landon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't bad. And then once you kind of deal with that first bit, the rest of it's easy.
Yeah, you get the bins underneath, then you kind of just slide it all out into the bin and open them up. And
then we had a Sawzall that basically cut the pig in half lengthwise.
Yeah, down the spine. Yep.
And then that was basically ready for a butcher if that's where you want to take it.
Yeah.
Or we took ours and hung it, and then there's more work to be done.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to get in there and look at all the different cuts. Today I haven't really decided what cuts to do with it, but there's going to be some good pork ribs and some big old hams that are going to come off there. And
absolutely.
Probably lots of stuff we can use to grind up for sausages off the front end of it. And we can all that fat back for sausages. And
we should consider Traeger, like using a Traeger.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
If you want to do ribs, maybe we should do like the full, instead of halving them, just do like big caveman ribs.
Maybe we should do that for the holidays with our wild game.
We just need a Traeger.
There's one up the road that we can go and steal from Adam's backyard.
Yeah.
So 4 pigs, we had them done, I think, in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because we got started probably around 9 by the time we came up with a plan there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a few shots around 12:15 or so.
Yeah, we toasted the pigs.
Toasted the pigs,
yeah. Pretty quick, bro. I was kind of expecting that to be a full day up there, but it was pretty quick and painless. So,
well, when I realized there was 4 pigs, I thought, this is going to be a little longer than I expected for sure. But it actually went pretty good.
Yeah, and there was 6 of us up there, I guess, right? Yeah, so makes for a quicker job. But I'm kind of happy with how everything went, and couldn't have been any better, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nice to have the control over your food, and even the ribs as an example, you can get the cut you want.
Yeah, totally.
You can do what you want with it.
Yeah.
And then you can utilize a lot more of it too. Like we had the pork cheeks too, were kind of sliced off.
Yep.
So yeah, you can get a lot more of the cuts that you might not see in a grocery store.
Yeah, we got the hearts and the liver and all that stuff. Oh, that'll all go into sausages too. And so yeah, you can make it go a lot further. And I think it comes down to that whole, the same reason why we fish or get wild game is where it came from. It lived a good life, and pretty beautiful spot that those pigs got to call home for a while, and they were treated really well and fed well and everything like that. They've got an orchard up there too, so I guess they've been eating apples for the last month and a half here and acorns and stuff like that. So nice way to finish them for sure.
Yeah. And we had lunch afterwards. We had some subs, and mine tasted like pig and burnt hair.
I think we were probably all covered in a fine layer of
hair
dust. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was definitely the most unpleasant part.
Totally. You think of the whole process and that being the most unpleasant part. I think that says a lot about it. So yeah, it was good. I don't know anything else you want to add to it. I'm kind of just excited to enjoy the meat, and we'll have to get some to you too. And
yeah, that'd be pretty special for sure.
I feel like with even when it's the first time hunting and you're field dressing something, or like the first bear we got, I was up there by myself.
Yeah.
Or this, when we didn't know what we were getting into with the pigs, the moral is you just got to go and do it, and you figure it out as you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think some people get paralyzed with like not knowing what to do, and then you just don't do it. But with this kind of stuff, you just got to dive in, you'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've talked about this before too. If it's wild game or whatever it is, it's always nice to just refresh yourself. Like when we first started hunting, I would every night before we would hunt, I would sort of like read through all the steps of field dressing just so that it was always sort of fresh in my mind. And yeah, when you get into it, you kind of know the basics, and everything starts to reveal itself, and it's pretty straightforward. It's not all that complicated, really.
Yep.
I guess it'd be easy to overcomplicate it if you had no idea what you're doing, but yeah, it's not that hard. You just have to be careful with certain things like the intestines and stuff like that, because that can ruin your meat in a hurry. But
even if you overcomplicate it, there's a point where you kind of just have to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You just have to.
It'd be interesting to see where the bacon comes off. I know I've bought a couple big slabs of bacon,
right,
30 inches long, 8 inches wide. Wow. And, I'm looking at those two halves thinking, where'd that come from?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, once I get the hide peeled off and stuff like that, and I'll just look up, Landon's actually got a really nice book that I'm going to probably steal from him this afternoon. And it's all about butchering, and it's got cuts for pigs, chickens, cows, everything in there. So did you find it?
Yeah. So back bacon, or Canadian bacon in the United States, comes from the loin in the middle of the back of the pig.
That's kind of what I figured. It was, to have a long slab like that, it would pretty well have to come from
the back.
The back.
Yeah. So can we cut the pig in half though?
I guess you could go from either side.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's just different portions.
Yeah. Yeah, should be interesting.
Here you go. Here's a map.
You are here.
It's in French.
Nice.
Yeah, so it'll be nice to taste it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll probably cook some up today just to see. It's funny, Cinda, Landon, my sister-in-law, Landon's wife, invited us over, and we had pork ribs last night, so it was kind of fitting after a day of dealing with a pig. That wasn't planned, but
well, you definitely got lots of pork fat for your sausages.
Yeah, for sure.
I was amazed how much
there's tons on there. Yeah, I was looking at it again last night, and there's a good few inches of fat up there. So
it's crazy. It's just like Jello.
Yeah.
When you first open it up, and then within like an hour or less, it just gets rock hard almost.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be easy to work with today, and I guess that's the whole purpose for hanging it up. It's just going to be a whole lot easier to work with.
Yeah.
And one thing, the cutting through that hide on that pig, man, just kills your knives.
Yeah.
Like a deer is one thing, but working with that was just like, by the end of it, my knife was super dull.
Yeah.
When we were cutting the pork cheeks off, I had to resharpen there a few times.
Yeah, I had the lynx.
Yeah.
And it was great. I sharpened it once, kind of midway.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Nice.
And it went through a couple pigs, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all in all, good experience. I think just the only thing left to do is eat it.
Yeah.
Report back.
Cook it and eat it.
Yeah. For sure. Actually, you know what was cool was my niece came out when we were hanging the thing up and very curious about the whole thing, which is kind of neat to explain to them.
Like, and nephew.
Yeah.
He's pretty young though.
He was pretty quiet and not too sure about it. But and then when we went back later that night, she was again asking questions, and she actually was looking at Landon's butchering book and stuff like that. So I think it's cool for kids to kind of, it's a good age where you might not freak them out too. They're just curious at that point and want to know what's going on and how that becomes food and that. So
yeah, I think it's good to know where you're, all that kind of stuff. The one guy we were with, he was taking, I can't remember which part it was, but he wanted to like dissect it with his
heart,
with his grandparents, which some people might be like, oh, that's weird. But there's another aspect to it where it's like completely educational.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All depends on how you approach it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was funny when he was saying he should keep that heart for spare parts just in case. You might need a valve here and there.
Yeah. Freezer burnt.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it out for a day and sew her in there. You'll be good to go. Nice. So I was saying we've got lots of plans for you, Wayne. That was just the first of many, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're planning, what were we talking about? A caribou hunt? Fly-in caribou hunt?
Yeah.
Haida Gwaii fishing.
Well, I mentioned a couple things.
Blacktail.
But, you know, I think you're more interested in like full-blown fishing type situations. So we might, like if we went on hunting ones, it'd be a little bit of like us dragging you out there.
Yeah. I think it would be fun. I mean, I'm not a hunter per se. I don't have a license or anything like that.
That was my follow-up question.
I do like my fishing experiences, but I do obviously love the outdoors and hiking and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure I would have a blast.
Nice. Well, I think we're going to have to get you signed up to get your hunter safety all done.
Yeah. Well, I've thought about it, and through my years, I mean, my dad was a hunter all his life, and I hunted with him as a teenager, much the same as you did with your dad.
Yeah.
And but never carried on with it.
Right.
And then it just seemed like that the situation never came for me to take it up full time.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had a couple of opportunities with different people I worked with or different friends, but it just never got off the ground.
Right.
My wife wasn't really a wild meat eater.
Yeah.
So it just didn't seem to fit for us.
Right.
And with Kelly, I never would have imagined. Actually, either one of you would have been hunters, but it's interesting how things work out that way. But it's always been an interest for me, but it just never actually came to be.
Cool.
Yeah. And at 60 years old now, I don't know if that's feasible to.
It's never too late
to start. That's true. That is true.
Actually, we've heard from guys in their late 50s and stuff like that. Who just got into hunting just through listening to this thing and that. So yeah, and
there's many different kinds of hunts with different demands. So you can always
even just to start out and have the option to go for a small game if it's grouse or snowshoe hare and just go for a walk, and if you feel like doing it, then
exactly.
But if
like I have lots of friends now my age. That have tapered back a lot on their hunting. They basically call it armed camping now, or armed hiking.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't have to go full blown.
No,
it doesn't have to be a huge expense for you. Just to get out there for sure.
Yeah, key pieces of gear and you're good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll have to think about what the next few years look like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From that perspective,
you can do the core online now, which is kind of nice. You don't even have to go into a classroom.
And I mean, that's a good thing to do anyway.
Just to do it, And we said this before too. Even if you're not all that interested and kind of on the fence about hunting, to do the course, you just learn lots of stuff, anyways, right?
Yes.
It's super interesting.
A lot about the key species, at least the game species in BC, but.
It opens up
covers a lot of ground too.
Yeah, and just the conservation side of it too. You start to figure out some of that stuff and open up your mind to that side of things too. So all in all, it's good, even if you only used it once or not even at all. But
be interesting to see Kelly's mother's reaction if I took up hunting. I know she was pretty stressed when Kelly broke the news that he was taking up hunting, and for both of us to be out there now, I think it could put her over the edge.
We'll just disguise it as a fishing trip then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Armed fishing trip.
There will be fishing involved.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that wouldn't be the first thing Kelly's got me into. A few years ago, got me into the fly fishing, which I really enjoy, especially in our area with the Columbia River right there. And I fish, a few days a week. And from my house, I'm in the water in like 10 minutes. Yeah. So it's pretty handy. So, that's become something I really enjoy. So
nice.
You can never say never.
Yeah. It's always just an excuse to get outside and do something different. So.
Yeah. But part of it too is like, it's the people you meet in your life and those interactions that start happening too, because I wouldn't take up hunting if you hadn't raised it as a question that one day.
Yeah. Right.
And you probably wouldn't have raised it if, certain things hadn't happened. Yeah. So like, it's just the way it works out for some people. And then, it's just hard to predict that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Or we could have been still 100% focused on music at this point too. So
yeah.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Yeah.
And as a father, you just kind of, you're looking at your kids and you're thinking, well, what do you think they're going to enjoy?
Right.
And, Kelly and I, we hiked a lot. We skied tons.
Yeah.
Like 30 times a year.
Yeah.
Minimum.
30, minimum. Yeah. And, of course, the music thing, I was always a big music fan. And when Kelly took it up, it worked good for me too. And golfing. And, I figured I had all the bases covered.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I'm going to be a hunter.
Curveball, didn't see that one coming.
Okay, curveball. But yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Although I kind of think back to like when Uncle Rich was around and he was, the gifts I always got from him and Auntie Loretta was like coffee books, the coffee table books.
Yeah.
But they were always wildlife based. Like was always like the birds of whatever, or the cats of like big cats, or like it was always animal based.
Yeah.
I was always kind of obsessed with that portion of it. But
that was the one time that I wished I would have taken it up was with Rich, because
he was a true outdoorsman.
Yeah,
right?
He was a great guy. Passed away in 2009, but
that was your
brother-in-law.
Brother-in-law.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, horseback, hunting, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, 2008 passed away, but he would have been an awesome hunting partner. For sure.
Yeah.
You just have to keep up with him.
Well,
it's kind of like you.
Yeah, I learned that skiing. I thought I was a pretty good skier, and then I started skiing with him. I was like, holy man, I got to get a stationary bike or something to start working out.
Yeah, nice.
He would go top to bottom all the time.
Right.
And, we'd go like 2 or 3 breaks on your way down. But it's a lot more fun.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the plan for the rest of the day then?
I got to go over and pick that thing up, and I'm going to bring it back to my place. I got the garage set up. I got some hooks in there that have been waiting for deer that never showed up. So we'll replace that with a pig and just start breaking things apart in there and see what we have to work with. So I guess we can follow up on that next week.
Yep.
You and I are going to be in Vancouver together. Maybe we'll try and knock out a podcast with a guest there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We're there for different reasons, but happen to be in town for the same period of time. So perhaps I'll see you there.
Yeah. I've got the few days there that have like evening work related things, but the one day, hopefully we can make it happen.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I think there'll be more podcasts with you coming up. So
maybe some live in the field ones.
Yeah, those are fun for sure. Especially like Cayuga when we had a bunch of guys. Right? That was kind of fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then in the truck on the way home was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Awesome. Cool. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend. You guys taking off Monday or?
Monday morning we'll head back. Yeah.
Cool. And thanks for the help yesterday.
Oh, well, it wasn't a heck of a lot of help, but I can't say it was fun. I think if you think that's fun, but it's something that
it was educational.
It's a necessity, and it was good.
Good, awesome, cool.
Well, we'll send some meat back with you too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Or I'll bring some back. I guess we got to deal with it first, but
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Cheers.
Cheers. This episode of Rookie Hunter was also brought to you by North Arm Knives. North Arm knives are handcrafted and sold directly through a father and son team right here in British Columbia. Choose from a selection of outdoor knives, kitchen knives, and custom engravings from northarmknives.com. They ship internationally and guarantee all of their work. Kelly and I have put their products to the ultimate test and give them our stamp of approval. Head over to northarmknives.com.